Hi, what's up? What's up? What's up? Hello. Hi, what's up? Hi. Good to see everybody. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Hey. Happy, what's today? Wednesday? Sometimes I can't remember. Is it Wednesday? Is it Monday? I know it's not the weekend. Let me just say that. It's one of those days. Hey, how are you? Thanks for coming. Hey everybody, where are you from? I know some people, but I just want to see where are you from? If you could just drop that. Let me see where you are from today. Good to see you all. I'm going to get started in just a little bit. Hi, what's up? South Florida. Oh, wonderful. So when I think of South Florida, I think about Miami, maybe Fort Lauderdale, DC. Loving DC. One of my favorite places in the country. I miss going to DC. There's always something new there, always an exhibit, always so much history. All right, from South Africa, wonderful. It's funny because I always want to tell people like, oh, I've been here, I've done that, but I really have. I've been to South Africa. I was in Cape Town a couple of times. Really, really nice. Went to Robben Island. So, went to some cool places. And then in terms of Miami, I was at, is it FIU or FAU, I believe, Florida Atlantic a few years ago. So all these places are beautiful. So I am going to get started. I hope you all came because you saw my flyer, when to walk away. How do you know that it's time to walk away? And I hope that you come with your questions. So I'm going to give you just a lot of information today, just some thoughts about what you might need to do if you're in a situation where you need to walk away. First of all, what does it mean to walk away? In 2021, we've talked about the Great Resignation. So there are so many people who don't want to go back to work, who did not go back to work, who are still working at home, and they're trying to decide what their next is. And one thing I can say about the pandemic is that it has been a time for reflection. It has been a time for a lot of, just soul searching and trying to figure out what you want to do. So let me start, and let me see if I have my book here. But there is a book that I have read, and it is something that really guides me. And so regardless of your religion or anything that you're thinking, there's a book that I read called Understanding Your Potential by Dr. Myles Munroe. And this is my aha moment, for real. This is a real nugget that made me think about whether it was time to walk away. So in the book, I think it's the preface. I'm going to read something to you. And it is just something that is just really amazing. So one paragraph, reading this book to you, but I want you to think about it because there are some points in here that are going to blow you away. So he says, the wealthiest spot on this planet is not the oil fields of Kuwait, Iraq, or Saudi Arabia. Neither is it the gold and diamond mines of South Africa, the uranium mines of the Soviet Union, or the silver mines of Africa. Though it may surprise you, the richest deposits on our planet lie just a few blocks from your house. They rest in your local cemetery or graveyard. Buried beneath the soil within the walls of those sacred grounds are dreams that never came to pass, songs that were never sung, books that were never written, paintings that never filled a canvas, ideas that were never shared, visions that never became a reality, inventions that were never designed, plans that never went beyond the drawing boards of the mind, and purposes that were never fulfilled. Our graveyards are filled with potential that remained potential. What a tragedy. So that's just a moment. Y'all, I was rereading that, and it stayed with me for a long time. And it's that thing where I said, I don't want my potential to stay in a grave. I don't want at the end of my life for people to say I was this miserable person and that's what they knew. And so I have a son. And so I got to a point, my son just turned 3 this week. And when I was pregnant, I said, I did not want my son to have a broken mother because I was miserable, just really, really, really just in a bad place. And, I said, my son deserves to know me when I was in a happy place. He deserved to have a mother who delights in him and is not just coming home and is just like, oh, this is the worst thing ever and it's awful. So for me, my whole thought around doing this business and talking about this subject comes from a place of what I want my end to be. So it's like looking at the end and then coming backwards. And what I want you to think about is, what do you want your end to be? What do you want to be said? What do you want to be known for? What do you want your legacy to be? And when I think about when to walk away, it's the fact that we spend the majority of our lives in the workplace. When you think about your days, you used to, when you're in a physical space, probably spent more time with your colleagues during the week than you did your family because you came home, you slept, you ate, you did whatever. But I want us to get to a place where we're able to assess if during our time we are in a place that brings us the joy and takes us to that purpose that is important for us. So that's the heart of a lot of this. If you are in a place, let me give you some signs because I also have some signs here. If you are crying, that's problematic. Crying because of work. If you are physically ill, like it could be you can't eat, you can't sleep, you're just very irritable, then that could be something. If there's stress and it's showing, in your vital signs, it's showing in some other aspects, that's something. Also, think about your mind. Your mind is so important. And if your mind is not able to stay focused, or if you're not able to do what you need to do your job well, or to just live life well, that's something too. So those are some signs that I want to tell you. Some other things I want to say is that let's talk about a relationship. That's going to be like the second thing I want to point to you. I want you to think about the relationships that are really good to you, like the ones you love. Like when you see somebody, you are smiling, jumping, hopping. You're just amazing. You just love it. You just love being around that person. And I know you probably know what I'm talking about. Like for me, I love. And so you think about those Hallmark movies. Think about the movies where it's just like love at first sight, loving people. It's amazing. So that feeling, that thing, I asked someone one time, someone asked me about loving your organization. Can your organization love you? And it's like, no, your organization is not supposed to love you. That's what they said. But I believe that as humans, we have a desire and we have this need to be in spaces where we are valued. We have a desire to be in places where it's healthy and you're happy and you just enjoy it. Like you just get that warm and fuzzy feeling sometimes. And although work can be difficult, the topics, the things that you do can be difficult, you don't want to dread going to work. You don't want to dread, going to spaces that harm you. And so I want you to think about that. Once again, if you think about all the things that are important to you in a relationship with a person, think about that in the workplace. I also want you to think about abuse. So would you allow, and some people would, and I'm not trying to get into domestic abuse or anything like that, but I'm giving you an example. Do you think that someone loves you if they physically harm you? If every day that person wakes up and they physically harm you, or they emotionally harm you, or they do something, but at the end of the day, they're like, but I love you, but I love you, but I love you. You would say that there's a mismatch. And so I want you to kind of think about that. And like in a workplace, what does that look like? What's the equivalent action that is a hit? What is the equivalent action of abuse? And some examples I'll give you really quickly are, if you are being degraded at work, if you are being lied to, if you're being manipulated to, if something is being withheld from you that belongs to you, whether it's pay or if it is some type of opportunity for promotion, what does that look like? That's not cool. And of course, you have to operate within the boundaries of a system. And I feel like that's like the third thing I'm going to tell you. Sometimes people will say, this is just the nature of work. And it is. It really is. Like, work is work. Work is not play. It's not the vacation. That's why you have the holidays and the vacations, so that you can take time away from work. But what I want to say is that you also should not have this disgust when it comes to the workplace also. So you want to make sure that you are not being broken down to a point that you are not able to be of service when you go home. You're not able to enjoy your life after hours. You're not able to grow as a person, as a human. That's something too. So I'm giving you all of these like locators. That's what I'll call them. These are all locators. And I think the last tidbit I'm going to give you, because I have some other stuff I want to share with you before I leave, is that, people would ask, what do you do? What do you do about this? Like, yes, maybe it's good, maybe it's bad, but if it's not good, what do you do? And I want to say that the biggest thing is to have a plan. If you know that something is not as you would want it to be, you can, of course, sit in it and, just kind of hope and wish that it gets better, or you can have a plan. I'm a big planner. So if it's not right, if there's something that just in the bottom of your stomach, like, this is not what it needs to be, you may not be able to move tomorrow. You may not be able to move next week, but you can have a plan. And it starts with a plan. So I wanted to share these nuggets with you really quickly, because this is my pop-up, because I do have some stuff for you. So if you are here, I do have some things that will help you to move forward, because I just know people need support. I hear it all the time. I get direct messages. I have conversations with people. I see the tears, because there have been tons of tears from people. I've cried the tears. And if you go to the link in my bio, not right now, but if you go to the link in my bio at some point, you will see that I have a guide, When to Walk Away. And that's a really interactive workbook. So you can actually go through some deep exercises on your own to see, is where you are, or the situation that you're in, is that really where you need to be, what you need to do. And then another thing is, if you want to subscribe, this is free, but you'll see a freebie up in my bio as well. And you'll get an assessment, a When to Walk Away assessment that you'll work through. And you can just kind of start thinking about some stuff. Like, is this where I need to be? Is this what I need to do? And so this month, November, I am going to do some more work, and I'm focusing on when to walk away. I am going to engage in another space that's kind of like this. I'm going to have an opportunity for people to engage with me. So if you want to engage with me, you can schedule a consultation. You can engage now, but I want us to try and figure out how to get to these places where we walk away if we need to, but we figure out, if we have to stay, how to be in that place of purpose. So that's what this is all about. So I know there are a few people who are here. If you have questions for me, I would love to answer your questions, because this is your time. And, while you're thinking of like what questions you might have about when to walk away, I do want to ask you to follow me also on Twitter, if you're on Twitter, at drmonicacox.com. Thank you so much for the hearts. Thank you. And I have a ton of stuff. So I have a ton of resources. I talk all the time. I have a lot of articles, direct message me, do what you need to do. But my purpose is to make sure that people get to their place of wholeness. I want us to have no regrets in this life. And we especially don't want to have regrets because of a job. So that's my takeaway for you all. So once again, if you have questions, let me know. Thank you for joining me today. I wanted to make it short and sweet, but I'm stepping out on faith too when it comes to my business. So I appreciate any support that you can give me. Whether it's the likes, it's the sharing the information, it's sharing the guides, whatever you want to do. Just because I know that there are people who are out there who are hurting, people who need this information, people who are just looking for support. And so I hope that, in my business, in the Dr. Monica Cox brand, I can definitely bring that support to you and to some other people too. So thank you so much. Good to see you all. And please check out my link in the bio and let me know if I can be of assistance to you. Thanks again. Bye.